Hello everyone, Seth Alchemist here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. I appreciate your support. Today I want to address an interesting topic with all of you. And I have talked about it in my channel before. And I want to address it again for those of you who haven't seen my old videos from last year or a couple of years ago, because I know there are many new subscribers on this channel. Thank you very much. And I want to share this with you. And this is a subject that is usually overlooked in spirituality and in spiritual practice and in the occult, because many people don't make the connection between this path and health. People think that in order to practice magic or to see spirits or to become fully connected to spirit, it only depends on the practice that you do. Let's say you read tarot, and that's it. It stops there. Or let's say you're going to do a ritual for manifestation, and that's it. You do the ritual and it stops there. No. If you want to just patch a wound, it's going to open again. You have to find the cause of this wound. Where is it coming from? If you have a certain pain in your body and you just take painkillers, as how they are labeled, they're just painkillers. As long as you don't tackle where the issue is and fix it, the pain is gonna come back. So the same thing goes for this field. I'm gonna give you an example. If the night before you spent it partying and drinking heavily and being intoxicated with alcohol, junk food, and even drugs for some people, and the next morning you're doing a tarot reading for a client, then you should not be doing tarot readings. You should just change careers and drop it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't indulge in toxic habits, and especially eating unhealthy, and think that you are going to be connected to spirit. I'm going to give you another example. You can go have some sort of junk food that's drenched in oils and salts and just nasty processed, disgusting things that may seem very delicious to you, to your taste buds, because your taste buds are dead. Most of humans' taste buds are dead. They can't even taste proper vegetables or fruits on their own. They will think that they're tasteless because their taste buds have been killed by the processed foods, by artificial tastes and sugars and sweeteners and chemicals, and the list is long. So you can't have that and then say, I'm gonna do a ritual and connect to spirit. Let me just tell you this, that ritual you're gonna do or that spell is not gonna work, because your stomach is full of junk. Yes, the old saying that is very cliche, you are what you eat, is very true. But this has become even more complex than the past. I'm gonna tell you why. That's why this subject has become very delicate and difficult to address. It was easier in the past. Why? Because in the past, it was simple. You eat healthy or unhealthy. Unhealthy is junk food and processed foods. Healthy is you cook at home, use your vegetables, you eat fruits, and you make sure that your food doesn't have anything processed in it. That's it. Nowadays, people think that eating healthy is eating processed foods that has labels on them that says organic, that says vegan, that says no artificial stuff added. And they think that's what healthy eating is. It has become so complicated. Processed foods have become so common and normalized around the world that nowadays I see people saying that eating healthy is basically cooking at home. What? No. You can cook at home and still eat very unhealthy foods. I've seen people cooking pasta at home and saying they're eating healthy. Please wake up, please. And I'm trying to share this with you because it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get even worse and worse. Eating healthy doesn't mean you cook at home. Yes, it requires you to cook at home, but what are you gonna cook? If you're consuming anything that has flour in it, okay, salts, sugar, oils, that's already unhealthy for you. That's already very bad for you. And I'm speaking from a spiritual context here. I'm not here giving you a nutritional facts. I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm talking about for practitioners. This is specifically for practitioners. For those of you, before you write a comment section thinking I'm talking about health, stop. I'm not talking about health. I'm talking about connecting to spirit. I'm telling you that eating clean and healthy, in the way I'm going to explain it, is necessary and crucial for connecting to spirit, for becoming a true mage, a real witch, so that you can actually have that connection with spirit. Because unhealthy foods, and especially meats, they keep you glued into the physical reality. They're called the glue that keeps you stuck in here. So even if you want to do a proper tarot reading, you're not going to channel it properly. It's not going to work. Why? Because that glue, that meal you just had, that burger or that pasta or that pizza or that beer or that wine that you just drunk is going to keep you glued to the physical reality. So when you're going to try to channel some messages with tarot, for example, they're not going to come. You're not going to know how, nothing is going to come to you because you're here, you're glued to this physical reality. And you're going to be distracted and you're going to want to do useless, unnecessary things like maybe drinking more or partying or watching something like a movie or a TV show and just like not using your mind. You would want to zone out after you do those habits, like eating processed foods. When you eat actual, clean, healthy foods, it's the opposite. You feel energetic. You feel like you want to connect to spirit. You feel like you want to go and have a walk in nature. See the effect? And this is connected to this thing called veganism as well. I haven't eaten meat for almost a decade. And meat revolts me. I can't even, anything cooked with meat, I can't even have it. It makes me want to throw up. The reason why I know this is because I have had certain things by mistake before that were cooked in meat with family members or something like that. And within the first bite or the first taste, I'm like, wait a second, I can't have this. I feel like I'm going to throw up. Why? Because it was cooked with meat. It was something that had the meat taste. It has been 10 years. No meat, no fish, no eggs. Yes, it's possible. And I don't label myself as a vegan. I fell in that trap in the beginning, long time ago, before I even embraced this path. Veganism or vegans just taint the reputation of eating healthy. They mess up the reputation. And nowadays, eating vegan can be more unhealthy than eating regular food. Oh yes, I've been there. I used to eat vegan stuff, and my diet was full of chemical processed vegan stuff. Oh yeah, I'm having the Beyond Meat, it's vegan. Oh, I'm having this vegan nuggets. Oh no, don't worry about that pizza, it's vegan. You can have vegan stuff all you want, but it's actually much worse than eating just a regular diet where people actually consume meat. So be careful. Oh, it has the vegan label, so it's probably good for you. No, it's probably even worse for you if it has a vegan label. It means that, first of all, it's only trying to mimic the taste of meat, which is ridiculous. I'm talking about the fact that I've been there, and now I think it's ridiculous that I used to eat that kind of stuff a long time ago. I'm so grateful, and I want to give a huge thank you for Ina Witch, because she pointed these things to me. Because when it comes to nutrition, she's a veteran. I learned everything from her. When it comes to proper nutrition and what you actually need to eat in order to enhance your connection to spirit, and especially if you're a practitioner. So I learned a lot from Ina Witch, and I highly recommend you to go to her for these kind of advices when it comes to eating and health. She's the one who pointed out to me that I'm eating vegan stuff, but I'm actually eating unhealthy stuff every single day. And when I started reading the labels of what I was eating, I was shocked. And I started throwing things out in the garbage. I took everything I had, I remember, and I was just throwing everything out that I had in the kitchen. From the fridge, from the cupboards. And from that day on, I made a promise to myself that I will do my best to eat just the things that come from the source. What do I mean by things that come from the source? A fruit, where does it come from? The tree is the source. Then eat it. It's not processed. Vegetables, the same thing. But some people are going to say, well, fruits and vegetables are also processed. They don't look the same as how they used to look like hundreds of years ago. If anything, all the vegetables are processed and they've been modified. They've been genetically modified and this and that and this and that. Yes, I know that stuff. I research it. I read about it. It's okay. But at least avoid the stuff that are processed with chemicals. At least you're still eating something that comes from the tree. At least. Maybe that itself has been modified compared to hundreds of years ago, but at least it's still from the tree. Because we have to eat something. We are humans. That's the nature of humanity. You have to consume something. But nowadays we have choice. Maybe hunter-gatherers in ancient times, they didn't have any source of nutrition other than the meat of the animals they hunted. That's understandable. So they had to hunt animals because they lived in the cold. There were no fruits, no vegetables, no trees, nothing. So they had to hunt and eat meat. And that's why they did it. Nowadays it's different. Nowadays you have a choice. There's thousands of things you can choose from. So why still go to the bad things for your health, for your spirit, for your connection to spirit? Why still go to the meats that are going to keep you glued to the physical reality? Oh, because they're delicious. Fine, if they're delicious, that's your choice. But don't claim that you're spiritual. Don't claim that you're able to connect to spirit easily. You love your cats, right? You love your dogs, your pets, right? So how come you can look at your pet, at your dog or cat, and think that they are part of your life and part of even your soul for some people? You adore them, right? So how can you do so and turn your head and go eat a chicken? You don't make the connection a little bit? No? That's why every time I say the real masters know that everything is interconnected. Maybe you're not there right now, but you're going to get to it one day and you're going to realize that everything is interconnected. If you can't eat your cat because you love it so much, then you're not going to be able to eat a chicken or a cow. But you're just not making the connection right now. You're not making the connection. One day you will. And when that connection comes, you're not going to be able to even eat a fish. You're not going to be able to even harm an insect. You're not even going to be able to harm a mosquito or a fly. But most of you are going to think I'm crazy right now. What I'm saying is probably crazy. But when your awareness gets higher and higher, and it only gets higher with time, you are going to realize certain things that are crazy. And you are going to feel when a fly or a mosquito are struggling. When they're stuck indoors, or when a bug is, not only you're going to want to help it, or you're going to know that it's struggling, but you're going to feel it too. Yet you have people who say, I love my dog so much, while they're eating a burger. For animals, it's different. Animals by nature are designed differently. If you give fruits to a cat, they're not going to eat it. If anything, it might kill them. That's why cats, for example, I'm just giving you example with cats or with dogs. They have to eat certain elements that are meat, that are made of meat. But the animals in nature, they're not like humans. When they hunt, let's say in the wild, they don't slaughter everyone like how humans do. They're going to hunt one thing and eat it. And nature is always sustaining itself. The ecosystem is always functioning properly. Humans, no. Humans, they're like a virus. They go somewhere and they completely obliterate every resource there, and then they move on to the next thing, and to the next, and to the next, and to the next. So don't compare animals with humans. Don't tell me, well, animals eat meat. Animals can eat meat. Yeah, but they're not humans. Animals can eat meat, but they're not humans. Animals are animals. Animals eat each other, but they are sustaining the ecosystem. They don't drain Mother Earth from its resources. So nature allows some animals to eat some others, but everyone is still living in equilibrium, which humanity don't understand. Human beings don't understand the concept of equilibrium. They talk about it, but they never apply it. They talk about it, but they never understand it. Why do you think humans just want more and more, and they just want? They want more things and more things and more things. Animals understand equilibrium. Humans don't. So don't compare. Oh, but look at animals, they hunt each other. No, don't do that comparison. It's useless. And if you don't want to think about it from an animal perspective, from hurting animal perspective, think about it just from a spiritual growth standpoint. And I'm aware about the fact that fruits and vegetables and trees and plants are also alive. I know that. I know they're alive too. But as long as you're on earth, you have to consume something, unfortunately. But what are you going to consume? The difference between plants, trees, and vegetation and animals is that when you cut animals, like humans, blood comes out. Blood runs inside of animals. When you cut an apple, there's no blood that comes out. If anything, the tree that gives apples, if you don't pick those apples, they're going to just fall on the floor. They're going to fall and they're going to rot. So fruits and vegetables are like a present from Mother Nature. You just have to connect the dots. But again, this is your choice. I'm not here, I said this in my other videos, I'm not here to argue with you. I don't condemn anyone who eats meat. I don't care if you eat meat. Go ahead and eat meat if you want to. Because a lot of people, they don't want to understand this, and it's okay. The reason why they don't want to understand this kind of lifestyle is because they're just not ready for it. They're not at that level yet. Most of the people that I love the most in my life, they eat meat, and I still love them. Nothing changes. And they eat meat on a regular basis. So I don't judge anyone. I don't judge you, and I don't even care. Because I mentioned this in many of my teachings. You can't change anything about this dimension, about Earth. Earth is just the way it is, and it's going to be like this. It has been designed this way. But it has been designed this way so you can make a choice. You want to eat animals? Go for it. You want to eat unhealthy? Go for it. You want to eat healthy? Also go for it. It's your choice. It's your free will. That's why you have free will, so you can choose between these things. The universe in this earthly dimension is going to give you choices. And some choices are bad and some choices are good. But what are you going to do with your free will? That's the question. What are you going to do? So after you hear this, you might ask, Seth, well, what do I eat? I'm confused. I don't know, like, what is there to eat then if I can't buy things from the supermarket or processed foods? It's simple. Just eat simple things that come from the source. For me, it goes like this. Fruits, load on fruits, vegetables, seeds, legumes, such as lentils, dates, nuts, all sorts of nuts like walnuts and almonds and cashews and peanuts. Everything I mentioned, by the way, is not supposed to have salt or sugar or oil, and it's not supposed to be processed in any shape or form. So when you eat nuts, they have to be raw, with no salt, no sugar, no oils. When you eat vegetables, the same thing. They have to be either baked or boiled. That's it. Maybe with a little bit of spices, but no salt, any kind of salt, no sugar, any kind of sugar. You want to have sweets and sugar, have fruits. They have natural sugars. You want to have a juice, go press the natural fruit. Don't buy a juice in the box or in the bottle. Everything has to be natural. You feel like having orange juice? Take the orange and squeeze it and then drink the orange juice. That's how it works. That's how I live. That's how my diet is. That's how Ina Witch's diet is. Ina Witch is even more hardcore than me. And this transition towards this kind of diet, again, it's been for me 10 years. It happens incrementally over the years. It's not going to happen overnight. You start with cutting meats, and then you start cutting eggs, and then you start cutting dairy products, and then you start cutting the breads. It's a long process that's going to take many years of trials and errors. And you have to combine this with exercise, with always soaking yourself in the sun, getting your vitamin D every single day. Yes, every day. This has to be combined with many things. When I say I'm a practitioner and I do these readings for you, it doesn't mean that I just do the reading for you and when I'm done, I do whatever the heck I want. It's high discipline for me to be able to channel these things for you. Either tarot or sigils or rituals, whatever I do. So I have a morning ritual that I do. I have a daily ritual where I have to have some time to cook my healthy, clean food. I have to have some time to go out in nature and soak some vitamin D. I have to have some time where I practice. And then I have to have some time where I do my work for you guys, which is like filming the videos, editing, and then I have to have some time for my clients, for the client orders that I have. You think I just film these videos and then after that I'm just like chilling? It's high discipline. And it goes for eating as well. When you discipline yourself for this lifestyle, food has to be part of it. What you eat becomes part of it. And when I changed my diet over the years, and now I eat just these natural things that I just mentioned, my connection to spirit enhanced. And your third eye really becomes opened. In the beginning, for me, it was a little bit opened because of even how it all started. For me, it came abruptly, randomly. And I had to work on myself. And now the connection is fully opened. Before, I wasn't able to sense spirits. I was able to see some of them. Now I'm able to actually sense them when they touch me or when they attack me. But if you keep consuming these unhealthy processed foods, either non-vegan or vegan, you're going to be stuck in the physical reality. You're not going to be able to feel anything. And it's okay. I assume if you're one of those people, this video is not going to even pop up on your feed. And that's why normal people who eat regular stuff, usually unhealthy stuff, they don't feel anything. They don't even feel compassion towards other human beings, let alone compassion for earth, for animals, and let alone sensing spirits. And that's why these people don't believe in anything. And they're usually atheists. Because they don't feel anything, because their third eye is fully closed. You can put them in a haunted place that's infested with malicious spirits, and they won't feel a thing. They won't feel anything. They might even be possessed, and they'll still not feel it. I'm giving you examples that sound like a joke, maybe, but they're actually real. That's how people get possessed. Because you don't feel a thing. You know, a lot of these people who commit murders and do very scary, atrocious things, they could be possessed. But they don't know it themselves. Because they don't feel anything. You see it with a lot of serial killers who they kill and they don't feel it. They don't feel like they've done something bad. That's the danger of going down that route. I know it sounds extreme, but it happens. There are cases like that. So that's why eating clean and healthy can enhance your connection to spirit, elevate your vibration so you can reach higher frequencies, and then the bad spirits can't attain you, they can't reach you. And even if they attack you, you're going to feel them and you'll know how to protect yourself. And that's why this kind of content, and especially this kind of video, is for the practitioners, for the people who really want to connect to spirit. So in essence, I'm not telling you don't eat meat because if you eat meat, you're a bad person. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't eat meat if you want to connect to spirit. I'm saying don't eat meat if you want your rituals or sigils or tarot readings to actually work. If you want to eat meat and you enjoy the taste of meat, go ahead. But don't call yourself a practitioner. Because your practice is going to be empty. Your tarot readings are going to be empty. Your manifestation spells, they're not going to work. They're going to be empty. You're going to do them, but they're going to be empty. Because you're stuck in the physical reality from these chemicals and processed crap that's disgusting. It's disgusting in nature, but we ingest it inside our bodies. I was there. I used to eat everything and anything before I embarked on this journey. So I'm not condemning anyone, but I'm saying that the change is possible. The transition is possible. It's going to take years and years. It's a long ride. It's a long journey. And you're going to have withdrawals. And sometimes you're going to cut meat, but you're going to want to have them again. And then you're going to come back and forth, back and forth. It happened to me with cutting breads because I used to love bread. Bread and bakeries and croissants, all that kind of stuff. I used to love it so much. And for years, I was having a lot of back and forth with that stuff. For me, it was the hardest thing to cut. It was harder than eggs, than fish, than meat, than dairy products. For me, it was hard to cut the baked stuff, the breads, stuff made from flour. So I struggled with that. It was a lot of back and forth, back and forth. And one day I succeeded in fully cutting it from my life. And now I haven't eaten that stuff in years. And even if I happen to taste them, let's say I see like some croissant that looks delicious, and I'm curious about the taste of it, let's say, and I taste it, let's say. But that's it. I taste it, I know the taste, and I don't feel like having it. That's how disciplined my body has become. I can have a bite from the baked stuff that I was addicted to, but then it doesn't affect me at all. I don't even feel like I want to finish the thing. The taste of dope, it makes me like I want to throw up a little bit. That's why I can't have the whole thing. I can have just a tiny bite. But with meat stuff, I can't even, like even if it's a soup that was cooked with meat in it, I can't have a sip. I can't. My taste buds are very sensitive. If I have a fruit, like just an orange or an apple, I can feel the taste of that fruit or the taste of that vegetable so vividly in my mouth. I can feel it without anything added, without any sugar, without any salt or any oil, just on its own. The taste is so powerful. That's what you become if you go on this path. And you can enjoy these natural foods on their own. Same for nuts. For example, when you have an almond or a walnut, you're gonna enjoy the taste of it. It has a very beautiful taste that you can enjoy. Yet I know that for normal people, if the nuts are not salted, they're not gonna feel a goddamn thing. So when you ask them to have a raw cashew or peanut, they don't want to have it because they can't taste it. I can. My taste buds are so enhanced. But this comes again with practice over a long period of time. This whole thing can help you cure ailments, diseases, chronic ailments. This correlates even more with healers. Healers, if they claim to be real healers, they have to be eating what I just mentioned. Real healers, they understand energy at a very high level, and they know that every element, every food will affect your energy. There are exceptions. There are people who are just fully gifted. It's like someone who is born a genius, a mathematical genius, and they don't even have to study math, but they can solve advanced equations. Like prodigies, right? Like people who are just born with the gifts 1000% activated and they don't need to do anything for it. There are people like that, but those are the 1%. Those are exceptions. This, my message, is for the people who are gifted, but they're not genius gifted level people. They are gifted, but they want to enhance their level. Similarly to me, to how I was. I had the gift. It was not very prominent. It was there. The universe showed it to me. And then I had to work on myself to enhance it. And we are not going to follow the example of the exceptions. An exception is an exception. But you may ask, well, Seth, how can this help you cure ailments or diseases? What are you talking about? This is nonsense. You have to go to a doctor and ingest drugs in order for that to happen. How can you do this? Well, I will share with you in my next video, and you have to stay tuned, an experience I had with one of my clients who was able to cure his ailments and disease by adopting this lifestyle. And he came to me and I told him what he needs to do, and he did it. And everything he had, and this stuff was deadly, it was deadly stuff, disappeared. So in my next video, I'm gonna share this with you, and hopefully that's gonna help you on your journey. It's not about convincing you that this stuff is real. It's not about telling you I'm right and you're wrong. I'm not trying to prove anything here. I'm just sharing with you what I know. If you think I'm trying to prove something, then you're getting the wrong idea. My goal is to never try to prove anything. I'm not in the business of proving stuff. I don't care. Maybe everything I say is wrong. Maybe everything I say is not what it is. But I'm only sharing with you my experience because maybe it's gonna help you. That's it. So stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to share the experience I had with one of my clients who was cured from a fatal disease because he adopted this kind of lifestyle, which is eating healthy and clean. And that is even helping him connect to spirit. And maybe I'll share with you my own experience with that as well, because I never shared that and I'm always hesitant to share it. But maybe I will share my own personal experience with some diseases that I had. Maybe I'll share that as well, a maybe. Okay? So it's up to you. The choice is yours. If you want to enhance your connection to spirit, nutrition, eating clean is crucial. It's crucial. But the choice is yours as usual. So what about you? How do you approach diet, nutrition? Do you eat healthy? Do you eat clean? Do you think you eat healthy, but actually it's not healthy? Like how I mentioned with cooking pasta and people thinking that's healthy. What is your point of view about nutrition vis-a-vis spiritual growth and connecting to the unknown? Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious to know. Thank you very much. And stay tuned for the next video.